Recently, I've been receiving many, many, many DMs again. And these are from people that clearly don't know me and are wanting to sell something to me, which I just don't need. So, for example, I've received messages from course providers wanting to sell me MBA courses, despite the fact that I studied an MBA over 35 years ago. I've had suppliers in China, manufacturers in China, trying to sell me containers full of products, which I clearly don't need because I'm a teacher. And this all points to one thing, that the people that are trying to reach out to me, or maybe reach out is completely the wrong expression, the people that are trying to sell to me are clearly just viewing me as a number. So their approach to selling is, if I send out 100 DMs, 1,000 DMs, if just 1% of those DMs convert into a warm lead or possibly a sale, then that is a good enough return for me. But it fails to take account of the 99% of people that you aggravate. And those 99% of people are, should we say, pretty unlikely to buy from you because they will remember the fact that when you have reached out, you've clearly done no research at all. So this brings up the big question: how do we go about selling? What's the best way to sell in the first place? I believe that the best approach that you can take to developing new business is exactly the same approach that you are taking with your existing clients. So when you approach new business, you have to look at it in terms of, I'm developing a long-term relationship here. There is no pressure. A lot of people would disagree with this. There is no pressure to sell. Take that pressure to sell out of your mind straight away. If there's no pressure to sell and you treat this person as a human being, how would you approach that person? So for me, I have also had a lot of, I would say, coffee chats with people online through LinkedIn, and there's been no agenda there at all. And I can absolutely assure you that those are the people that I would be far more likely and have done business with, in fact, in the future, because the relationship has started with good, genuine intentions at the human level, not because there's the pressure to sell there. Final tip is, how do you actually contact people through LinkedIn, set up coffee chats or set up meetings, initiate that first call? Because I think people find that very difficult, especially when it's in a non-native language such as English. And one thing which I have always found incredibly disarming is when people ask me for my advice or help. So maybe I'm a sucker for helping people. I'm not sure. And I think this is generally true of most people. If someone actually genuinely asks for your help and your advice, then it's quite difficult to say no. It's quite difficult not to connect with somebody on that level. I think it's a very good way of initiating relationships. But if you can treat new business the way in which you treat existing business and switch your mindset to providing that level of care, service, and attention, then that for me is an absolutely golden strategy.